The disputed region of Kashmir has been the site of much violence and conflict for many years, with India and Pakistan both vying for control of the territory. However, recent events have sparked fears that tensions between the two nations may be rising even further, as a gun attack on civilians in Indian-controlled Kashmir has resulted in the deaths of 26 people and the injuries of 17 others. The attack took place in the Pulwama district of Indian-controlled Kashmir and targeted a group of tourists who were visiting the region. The gunmen, who are believed to be affiliated with a militant group, opened fire on the group as they were traveling in a vehicle. The attack was swift and brutal, and the victims were caught completely off guard. The attack has been widely condemned by both India and Pakistan, as well as by the international community. India has accused Pakistan of supporting the militant group responsible for the attack, while Pakistan has denied any involvement and called for an end to the violence in the region. The attack has also sparked fears of a further escalation of tension between the two nations, as the Indian government has threatened to respond with force against those responsible for the attack. The attack has also raised concerns about the safety of tourists traveling in the region. The Indian government has issued travel advisories warning against non-essential travel to the region, and many tourists have already left due to the increased security risks. The attack has also had a negative impact on the local economy, as many businesses have reported a decline in tourism and other forms of economic activity. Despite the condemnation and calls for an end to the violence, it remains to be seen if the attack will lead to a lasting peace in the region. The conflict in Kashmir has been ongoing for many years, and both India and Pakistan have accused the other of supporting militant groups that are involved in the violence. The attack has only served to further inflame tension, and it is uncertain if the two nations will be able to resolve their differences and establish a lasting peace agreement. In conclusion, the recent attack on civilians in Indian-controlled Kashmir has sparked fears that tensions between India and Pakistan may be rising even further. The attack, which resulted in the deaths of 26 people and injuries to 17 others, has been widely condemned by the international community and has had a negative impact on the local economy. The conflict in Kashmir has been ongoing for many years, and it remains to be seen if the two nations will be able to resolve their differences and establish a lasting peace agreement. In recent years, disputed Kashmir has become a hotbed for tensions between India and Pakistan. The latest attack on civilians in Indian-controlled Kashmir has only added to the fear and uncertainty surrounding the region. On June 26, 2021, gunmen opened fire on a group of tourists in Kashmir, killing at least 26 people and injuring 17 others. This attack was the worst in years targeting civilians in the region, and it has sparked concerns about the potential for a violent escalation of the conflict. Kashmir has been a disputed region between India and Pakistan for over 70 years. The two countries have fought several wars over the territory, and tensions have remained high ever since. The latest attack on civilians has only added to the fear and uncertainty surrounding the region. The Indian government has condemned the attack and called it a heinous act of terrorism. Pakistan has also condemned the attack and called for peace and calm in the region. The attack on civilians in Kashmir has sparked concern about the potential for a violent escalation of the conflict. The Indian government has accused Pakistan of supporting the militants who carried out the attack, and Pakistan has denied any involvement. The Indian government has also increased security measures in the region, and there have been reports of increased military activity on both sides. Despite the increased security measures, the fear of a violent escalation of the conflict remains high. Kashmir has a long history of violence, and the latest attack on civilians is just the latest in a series of incidents that have fueled tensions between India and Pakistan. The situation in Kashmir remains volatile, and it is unclear what the future holds for the region. In conclusion, the recent attack on civilians in disputed Kashmir has only added to the fear and uncertainty surrounding the region. The attack was the worst in years targeting civilians, and it has sparked concerns about potential for a violent escalation of the conflict. Despite increased security measures, the fear of a violent escalation of the conflict remains high, and the situation in Kashmir remains volatile. The international community must work to find a peaceful solution to the conflict in Kashmir and prevent further violence in the region. The recent attack on civilians in Indian-controlled Kashmir has caused widespread fear and concern, as it marked the worst assault on civilians in the region in years. The incident, which occurred on February 14, 2019, saw gunmen open fire on a group of tourists, resulting in the deaths of at least 26 people and injuring 17 others. The attack has been widely condemned, with many expressing outrage and calling for an end to the violence. The Indian government has blamed the attack on Pakistan, while the Pakistani government has denied any involvement. The attack has sparked fears of a possible escalation of tensions between India and Pakistan, which have a long-standing history of conflict over the disputed region of Kashmir. The situation remains tense, with both sides continuing to engage in military actions and making accusations against each other. The attack has also led to increased security measures being put in place, with the Indian government imposing restrictions on travel and movements in the region. The incident has also led to increased scrutiny of India's handling of the situation in Kashmir, with many questioning the reasons behind the Indian government's response. Despite efforts to maintain peace in the region, the attack has highlighted the ongoing tensions and the need for a peaceful resolution to the disputed Kashmir issue.